Howdy, and welcome to Acrophile by whilegameisfalse. Down link in the description if you'd like to play. The game is available for free but has a name your own price, so believe it or not, you may choose the price for this video game. There's also a GoFundMe link in the description to help a Black trans activist with their transition and moving fund. So I'd really appreciate it if you're able to support the developer, check out the game, maybe name your own price, maybe check out the Black trans activists and throw them some money. I would appreciate that if you were able to. Thank you. So Acrophile. Before we started, I was like, okay, acro, I think acrobat. So that has something to do with being in the air, going up, I imagine. But just so I wouldn't sit here and ponder it for however long it takes me to beat this game, acro is a prefix word for topmost or highest. So acrophile, someone who's maybe getting a little hot and heavy, enjoys being up, perhaps. So right here we have our Portal emulator v1.57. Welcome to the Portal emulator, locally saved software, the Acrophile. I mean, it doesn't have V, it's just Acrophile. The archival date, archival reason, data not found, host system also not found. The guest system, PC, Unity specifically, the engine this game was made in, which is interesting. Looking at how what this game looks like doesn't look like what you would expect from a Unity game, since people tend to use Unity for the 3D stuff. So before we begin, I'm not sure if this will be in the game proper anywhere, but there is a little description about what we're going to be doing exactly in this game on the itch page I wanted to read. There's an island in the Atlantic Ocean that doesn't show up on maps. A constant storm guards it from outsiders and makes it impossible to tell day from night. There are rumors of an uncontacted tribe on the island. The discovery of a lifetime, brought to you by Portal emulation. So let's see our let's load up our Portal emulation and find out what's up with this island that doesn't show up on maps. Okay, we can left-click on this panel, or press space to continue reading. I'm guessing the click will probably be less annoying than my keyboard. We have to beat the game in one sitting. I couldn't resist. Being a volcanic projection of the mid-Atlantic ridge, the island lies far from the continental landmasses. We can see it right there. X marks a spot, which we can't click there. We've got to click down here. I'm already breaking the rules of the video game. Its location gives rise to a dense, humid rainforest and constant belligerent downpour. Approaching the island by sea is impossible. Approaching it by air is lengthy and dangerous. Yet here we are. I can barely hear my thoughts over the sounds of the helicopter blades and rain on the hull of the aircraft. I'm surprised Arthur is keeping this thing in the air. Well, I shouldn't complain. I'm a student after all. As the rumor goes, impassable terrain and hazardous weather has discouraged the island's colonization. Oh boy, what a shame. Can't colonize this one. And ever since, it has been mistaken cartographically. Okay, I was going to put a cartographical, but it's just cartographically. Cartographically as Ascension Island. It has been mistaken as Ascension Island. I don't know what Ascension Island is, so I guess that's an island out there. It therefore has no name as of yet. Of interest to us, anthropologists, was the notion of a tribe in darkness. Apparently, at the heart of the island, the canopy is so thick and the weather so unchanging that there is no telling what time of day it is. What consequences would this have on a culture? We have to know. I have to know. I think we would know that it probably wouldn't be good for people to be in darkness, because, like, isn't that like the deal with, like, living in Alaska, where they have to have, like, sun lamps and stuff to, like, get the, like, sun so your brain don't break? So we can probably guess people who've been forced to live in darkness. There might be there's like this famous thing about a cave you might have heard of, perhaps. When you're not reading dialogue, you can left-click the upper panel to interact. Okay, so I guess now we're not reading dialogue. That's Arthur. He's waiting for me. Smell that hue? That's the smell of some of the most untouched and freshest air on the planet. Got your stuff? Okay, let's head up. To travel to new locations, click when a small arrow icon appears. We won't be fooled by any large arrows. Try hovering the mouse near the right side of the top panel. I guess we need to get rid of that first to get that small arrow that we were told about. So we are being directed right now. I mean, look at a rock. Is it that is that not a rock? Oh, I see it now. The helicopter and the tail, and there's the I see. I thought it was like a big rock. Arthur's helicopter. We flew for 9 hours. Okay, I guess let's mosey on unless you have something else to say. Nope, just going to say the same thing again. I mean, I guess it could have said something different, but just figuring out, looking around, learn how the game works. We get a little whenever we hit an interaction point. It smells earthy here. I guess I should probably use my space so I don't have to go back and forth. It's much darker. It's much darker than I thought. Look for any signs of civilization. Wait, shh! I hear something coming towards us. Oh, it's a person. And I got an arrow there for a second. I guess that's probably just to go back where we came from. Anything else we can interact with? Nope. We can go back, or we can interact with the person. Someone lumbers towards us. Their clothes are droopy and damp, carrying patches of moss. It's too dark to see their eyes. Their teeth are dirty. Hi, do you speak English? I don't know why they would. Welcome. What's your name? Hugh, I see more people up ahead. I don't. Maybe. Oh, yeah, we have another arrow option. I'm just going to click this one because I assume this will take us back the way we came. Yep. Just wanted to make sure before we left. And go up ahead and meet some more people. I'm guessing this is once again Arthur. Arthur is inspecting the housing. We can kind of see some housing back there. It's a little hard with the rain and the graphics. I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but you know, it kind of looks like a Game Boy filter kind of over it. What is this? Some overgrown foliage. Welcome to our growing tribe. We like they who visit. How many people are in the tribe? We do not know. Hugh, let's look around for a place to set up a tent. We made you a smooth tent. Oh, where is it? Playing a little hide and seek with where our tent could be. A gift that we weren't expecting, but a gift we appreciate nonetheless. Oh, I don't seem to be able to interact with them there. Some overgrown foliage. I guess this is their tent. I can see. Oh no, that's the mountain. I was like tent. It's like yeah, triangle, but no, it's the summit of the mountain. Don't seem to be able to interact with Arthur. I think I accidentally called him Hugh. I'm Hugh, obviously. Obviously, must be the tribe's water supply. That or rain. I can't see any fish. Keep going. Let's investigate this tent. Yeah, it looks like a tent, like one of those round like camping tents. It doesn't seem like there's anything else to interact with here, so let's go in. Yep, this is just a tent. 2 sleeping bags are already set up in the tent. How convenient. Let's put our stuff here and get to work. Take the shovel, go dig around and see if you can find any artifacts. Sorry, just artifacts wasn't spelled the way I expected, so it stopped my brain, even though I know that's just a different way to spell artifacts. I'll go talk to the tribe. You want me to dig up their buried cultural artifacts right in front of them? Yeah, they won't mind. If they bury them, they clearly don't need them. Yeah, clearly. Oh, okay. Search the island for a place to dig and click when a shovel icon appears. So clearly, something's a little strange here. They already... Oh, this just starts this again. You know, the people here are supposed to be uncontacted and immediately start speaking English with us. And we have a tent here. Now, there was the mat... I don't actually know how to get the hell out of this tent. Oh, there we go. I was just pointing in the wrong spot. Just, yeah, go dig around and see. Okay. We can assume, based on what we saw at the beginning of the game, that this is an emulation of sorts and not actually us going here. So we could assume something's up with this piece of technology that we are currently looking at. You can see the summit, yeah. Just the water. I guess whenever he was like, hey, go dig in front of them, it was literally dig in front of them. Thank you for the tent. Where will you be sleeping? No day, no night, no sleep. And you are vulnerable when you sleep. Oh, interesting. You are vulnerable when you sleep. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It is true. I mean, if I didn't need to sleep, I suppose I wouldn't. I mean, that'd be a lot more time in my day, even if there isn't technically day here. Yeah, nothing. Look at this tree. The roots are greedy, needy, hungry. Why? Because it's a weed? Because it is the rule of nature. Hunger is rewarded. You must want to live the most. The viruses, the parasites, the weeds. Oh, yes, so valuable for life is hunger. So life will adapt. So life will learn to be hungry. If you hunger, I must hunger more. Hunger spreads from rival to rival, spreads like infection itself. Do you understand? Sure. You don't mind if I just dig a bit here, do you? I'll take that as a yes. I mean, we've shown up and we're hungry for artifacts. I guess we're taking your artifacts. But you gave me permission because I'm hungry for it, I guess. I guess that makes it good that I'm doing this actually. And yeah, we'll roll with that. I'm just poking the dirt here. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. So I just set this down. Maybe there's something. Oh yeah, there we go. There was something appearing, and I wasn't making it out. Seems very similar to a machete. The people here may have used it to clear flora when needed. Hey, is this your machete? You gonna talk about hunger again? Yeah, I'm gonna talk about hunger again. I probably should have just assumed that I was gonna get the same thing again, but you know, I just dug something up. They might have some thoughts about that. Doesn't seem to be any digging spots over here, so I guess we'll just go back to Arthur, who thinks what we're doing is totally cool, just showing up and taking shit, which it's good that we're doing this, actually. It's not bad or weird that we're doing. What about the artifact that I found? Maybe there's a screen or some kind of diggy spot that I did not see. I'm not exactly sure, because I haven't been, like, you know, rubbing the entire screen for spots. So perhaps I could have missed. Oh, yep, here's a digging spot. And this time I'm going to use my eyes and brain a little bit better. And notice if something starts appearing. See, I noticed something starting to appear. Oh, it's a skull. Probably not the kind of artifact you want to take away from people. Yeah, you know, they put it in the ground. They're not using it, I guess. Sure. A decaying skull with some blue dust on it. Maybe the remains of one of their ancestors? No, their heads are not shaped like this skull. Have they undergone evolutionary change? How old is this? I think it's nighttime now. Better head to bed. Oh, I don't know. I've heard that you're vulnerable during sleepy time. Yeah. Or emulation might be a little messed up. You know, emulation, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out as well as you want. Am I tired, or can I see a light up there? How do I get up there? Why do I want to get up there? I mean, it's a mountain. Of course you want to get up there. You see a mountain. I mean, most people, I feel like you see a mountain, you're kind of like, I kind of want to get up it. Even if you don't really want to, just because it'd be cool to acrophile, to go up because you think it's cool. Yeah, we can worry about it tomorrow because we're really tired. For some reason, I didn't see the triangle there. But also, this triangle's just have a little hard time making it out. Has Arthur already hit the hay? Arthur's notebook. How did digging go? Found a sword and a skull. Nice. I'll have a look tomorrow. Good night. Good night. Holding the S key closes your eyes to sleep. You can open your eyes if you feel unsafe. Oh, that's fun. If you want to check the time, click the lower panel when your eyes are open. So, wait, 11 o'clock. Okay, so I just hit S. We close our eyes and we go to sleep. We make ourselves vulnerable, but, I mean, we have to sleep. What other option do we have? We could wake up and be tired, but, I mean, we'll make it happen. I have to open my eyes to check the time, which sucks. This is like, well, it's like sleeping in real life, where you have to wake up a little bit to actually check the time. I don't know if we have an alarm. We didn't set an alarm. See, the problem is we've just heard a noise, so I'm probably supposed to feel unsafe. But also, I just kind of want to chill until I need to wake up. Like, I don't know the passage of time here, so I'm going to open my eyes. I'm going to check the time. Am I not checking the time right? Something happened. Arthur's already woken up. See, like, I'm not sure of how much, like, time has passed. So I guess, like, the idea was that I was supposed to maybe wake up sooner and check it. Morning. How'd you sleep? Usually I hate camping because there are always insects, but luckily I didn't find a single one. You? I mean, I guess it's raining, so it's probably hard for the fly guys to get out at you. And if you close up your tent, maybe the crawly guys can't get in. I slept well too. For a rainforest, this place is thankfully really quiet. I guess rainforests are known for their bugs, so maybe what I said was stupid. Oh, I started some research on our artifacts yesterday. Good, I'll check it out soon. Click on Arthur's journal in the tent to read the notes. These will update automatically. I'll continue researching while you find some more artifacts. Don't you want to turn digging? Remember, you're my assistant. Yeah, I guess that was supposed to be more like, hey, don't you want to dig? Oh, God, why do I always have to dig like that kind of like journal entry 1, Arthur Wallace. Recovered a machete. Rust indicates that it is quite old. While the majority has a sharp edge, some regions are blunt. It was likely used on hard materials, maybe tree trunks. Recovered a skull. It seems quite ordinary apart from the structural deviation from the members of the tribe. My microscope revealed the blue dust coating the skull seems to be inert fungal spores, which I will investigate further. Okay, well, we got a machete. There's not really much to say about that, and some kind of fungus. We basically already talked to you. I don't know if we need to like do the whole like I'm gonna scan the thing like that. We can see the summit. Yeah, we were really interested in the summit last night. Not so much right now. Suppose we'll go back to the tribe and see if there's anything new to dig up. Suppose we'll just speak to our new friends. It's surprising how much you've all built considering how small your tribe is. Yeah, we never figured out. Yeah, small? No, we are at least 1,000. Yeah, because we've only seen 2 people. But they were like, I don't know how many people are here. What? Where's everyone else? Let them do what they want. How do you feed everyone? I'll admit, I'd love to try some local favorites. I don't understand. What do you eat? I don't understand. What? All right. Okay, so we got some mushroom stuff happening right now, I suppose. Hey, you were talking about hunger. You get the whole food thing, right? You like to dig so much. People are always saying this about me. Why do you dig up the things we buried? It's for science. We're conducting research. I see. Can I ask why these things are buried? Are they part of some ritual? Yeah, the strange ritual of putting a body in the ground. What a weird one. That is private. Oh. Yeah, our research isn't gonna go very well at that point then. I mean, I don't think we should. Yeah, I don't think it's time to leave yet. Yeah, like I was like, that's just gonna like. I figured it'd prompt that kind of like, oh, it's not time to leave yet. But the highest point on the island, probably. Yeah, because we didn't really. We talked a little bit, but we didn't find any diggy spots. I mean, I keep saying it, that I'm not like I am doing it now, so I should stop saying that I'm not rubbing the thing all over the screen. Because there's there's the foliage. Oh, I can see a space beyond these leaves. If I had something to cut them down, we'd have more locations to explore. The only thing I can think of to use is the machete I found. Arthur wouldn't be mad if I used the artifact, would he? This is what it's meant for, right? It's in such a bad condition, too. He won't be able to tell the difference. There we go. Hey, you see that? I got rid of that foliage. Yeah, okay. I knew there was going to be, like, no new, like, text. But, I had to ask them, like, hey, you see that? How'd you feel? Like, because, the foliage is gone. Is that good? Is that bad? How do you feel about that? Oh, we found a diggy spot with this waterfall. The falling water is bright and foamy, but where it collects is not so pretty. A mossy green fog prevents me from seeing the bottom. Maybe there'll be something behind the waterfall. Nothing. Oh, it's a shame to say, but it's not a good video game. There's nothing behind the waterfall. Bad video game. Well, we'll pack it up and we'll play something else, I suppose. It was a shame. We were learning. Is this a frog? Looks like a frog. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but oh, it's rope. Yeah, it's like it looked like there was like kind of like a frog face in there. Some old yet sturdy rope, a must for all civilizations. I mean, that rope is important. You have to work very hard in Oracle of Ages to get some damn rope. So I mean, it's important, I guess. I mean, not I guess. Like literally, it is important. Yep. Yeah. I didn't read it, but there's a space behind these leaves as well, and for a penny, and for a pound. Yeah. I mean, we already started using the artifact. Oh, hey, we found someone new. What are these? These look like. Okay, before I click on them and it tells us what it is, either like grates, like a sewage system, or like tracks, like tank treads would leave. But I'm not exactly sure. Hey, what's up? One of the tribe's members is carrying around multiple enormous logs of wood up some stone stairs. You need help with that? Those seem heavy. No. What are they for? Look how the water drips off the wood. It does not seep in at all. The tree does look quite waxy. Oil and water don't mix. A hydrophobic coat like that is rare. Phobic, yes, fear. What a good description. The tree is scared of the water, which is so valuable. Valuable? Why? Yeah, why would water be valuable? Why? Dry wood burns better. Maybe I misunderstood the end of that conversation. Okay, so there's stone stairs. I see it now. The thing described it was like, okay, so the stone stairs are off this direction. That was the way my brain was thinking about it. But we're looking at a hill with some stone stairs going up. I understand now. We got a bridge. This one's easy to understand. And there's a light up there. At least I think that's a light. It looks like it's flickering a bit, but that could just be my mind playing imagine. Oh Jesus! Imagination playing tricks on me. A long rope bridge that looks like it heads towards the summit of the island. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess that's all there is. We'll just go ahead and cross it. Where are you going? Just having a look around. Boop. Stay away. Okay, so we're not supposed to go over there. We've learned something. Like we've upset them a few times where we say something strange. They're like, no. But that's the first time they're like, no. Capital N, no. There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Oh, I was just exploring more of the rainforest. I found some rope. Okay, whatever. I just want to get to bed. Let's go. Oh, it was a period, and then the quote. I thought it was an excellent, let's go. Bed? We just woke up. Hugh, it's almost 11 p.m. Are you feeling okay? What? I'm fine. Time flew by, I guess. Yeah, we didn't really do much today. It's always a shame when that happens, when you get up and you're like, I have so much day, and you look down, it's like, oh shit, I'm late to go to sleep. Okay, well, nighty-night. Good night. Good night. Did you already put anything new in your journal? No, I guess that'll be tomorrow. Okay, so we can check the time. It's S. I'm going to close. I'm going to wait 5 seconds. I'm going to open my eyes. Okay, I was interested in the passage of time. So 5 seconds is about an hour then. I'm not sure what time we're waking up. If we're going to bed at 11, we can assume maybe 6 or 7, depending, maybe 6:30. I'm not too worried. We're making ourselves vulnerable, but oh, something's happening. Yeah, what the hell was that? Was it my mind playing imagination on me? 3:39 a.m. I should get back to bed. Oh, whoops. I can't get back to sleep. I feel too restless. Probably just a need to give my legs a stretch. Oh, I understand that feeling. Yeah, no point waking Arthur up just because I can't sleep. I understand this so much more now than I would have previously. I've mentioned it in other things, other situations. Had a blood clot earlier this year, so now I have restless leg syndrome. So I have to wear compression socks to sleep. Otherwise, just oh boy, my legs do not want to go to sleep. Something feels off. Where is everyone? I mean, I didn't look that hard. I didn't go to the village. I just went straight to the point where I was told not to go because, whoops. Doesn't matter. Now that no one's stopping me, this is my chance to see what's at the top of the mountain. Exactly. That was my thinking too. Like, like, oh, well, well, I was going to say it's late, but, apparently time doesn't mean much to the people who live here. So maybe that was a dumb thought of mine. That was like real video game puzzle logic and not, I guess, thinking about the situation a bit better. But I mean, like, even if time doesn't mean something to you, you would assume, as other human beings who definitely don't have mushroom stuff happening with them, they would be like, oh, I'm tired. Gotta take a snooze. A rocky cliff towers before me, and it extends laterally as far as I can see. The rocks are way too slippery for me to climb with my hands, and the rain is definitely not stopping. I do have a rope, though. I don't know how rope... Oh, okay. I was going to say that's an incredible throw if you were just like, you just throw it up and it got up there. But also maybe it isn't as tall as I actually imagined it was. It's not catching on anything. Maybe if I can tie a loop on the end. It's time for a loop tying minigame. Damn, I need something to tie this rope to that will latch on some rocks or between some trees. There's someone behind me. Oh, yep. They did tell us to stay away. Hugh, are you okay? I'm fine. Nightmare? Yeah. You'll be all right. Let's get working. Can I check the time? I still want to know what time it is that we're actually waking up. Journal entry 2, Arthur Wallace. Recovered old rope. It is woven together firmly, but the source of the rope's fibers are yet to be determined. After my survey of all the flora I've encountered on this island, none of them appears to have the material used in the rope. An update on the fungal spores. They are a novel cordyceps variant, rich blue color, odorless and tasteless. However, they have not germinated during any experiments so far. It is very likely they will not grow unless a certain nutrient is present. The identity of the nutrient eludes me. These spores are lying dormant. They are waiting for something. I don't like. Okay, like I've already said, like, hey, I think mushroom brain thing's gonna happen, and I don't know enough about mushrooms to say cordyceps. That's the brain one, but I think cordyceps is the brain one. So, you know what kind of nutrient this cordyceps needs. I'd say we're nearing the end of our investigation. I have almost enough data for a full report. How many things have you dug up? Well, I got a machete, a skull, and a rope. 3 so far. I reckon aim for 2 more. That'll take us to tonight, and we'll leave tomorrow morning. Sound good? Yep, I'm on it. Well, let's rub the screen, find something to dig up. I don't know if we're going to find anything to dig up in the lakey area. Or even, like, what other areas are there to find? Like, I guess we have rope. Maybe we'll find something we can, area we can access. Does this tribe make music? We don't make music. We listen to the sounds of surroundings. I go to the glade to listen. The glade? The place beyond your tent? Oh, I'll have to check it out. Thanks for the cheat codes. Now we have a new area to go to. Are you feeling good today? Sure, I guess. Have you felt the mud today? No? Give it a feel. The tribe member gets on all fours and rubs their bare hands and feet in the mud. Smooth, oily, granular, mushy, velvety. I sneak away while they're busy. I mean, I imagine that some mud would probably feel... Like, I don't like to get dirty, so I wouldn't enjoy it, per se. But I would imagine, like... Because people do, like, the, like, mud, like, spa thingamajig. So I imagine, there's something to that. That it's not a whistling Dixie, which I realized I was going to say that, and then I was like, I don't really want to say it, but it's too late now. Whoops. Oh, here's the glade, the place where we come and listen, and maybe we'll dig something up. We can listen to the earth. The earth is part of the surroundings. That's something. Is that a vase? Oh no, it's a sign. No, lockbox. Okay. I could have looked down, but I was like, oh, yes, sign. And then I was like, oh, it's just going to tell me what it is. Whenever we first started digging, it looked like it was like a Zelda vase. Oh, a lockbox. What, is there a word that we've heard that we could, like, obviously we could go oh, there's not I was like, oh, there's the words for antichrist, but no, we're missing an H. What do we need to put in here? We can't make acro. We can make acre. That doesn't mean anything, I don't think. I was going to say transcend, but we don't have a D. Yeah, and I don't know if we've heard anything. So yeah, we can just come back. Okay, cool. I was worried that we were stuck in that screen. Is there anything else we can dig up? Anyone else we could talk to? Perhaps to get the answer to that, we have to listen. Or I have to use my brain a little bit better, which, oh boy. Uh-oh. Let's go talk to some people. Maybe we'll hear something new. Because I can also use the fact that I've been playing Wordle for, a year now. And so perhaps if I had learned a damn thing from that, I could be like, oh, yes, I have some letters in front of me. Let me use my brain and figure out what word I can make out of this. I don't think we talked to you. Excuse me, but would you happen to know what's at the top of the mountain? You are not meant for the top yet. What? See, that actually wasn't a comment about the mountain. They just took like one look at us and like, buddy, you're not top material just yet. No. Is our friend over there? Don't walk this way. Can I just have a look? You are not ready. Yeah, well, I mean, we had to go over there and check. We have to wonder if what we saw last night was a dream or not. Perhaps it actually happened. Who could say? Falling water. Yeah, it's just nothing behind the waterfall. I wasn't sure if we'd find anything new on this screen. Because we have one thing we can dig up, but it's a lockbox with a password. And the people that we're talking to don't seem to have any new dialogue. So I suppose there's something that I was... Oh, do not leave. Do not leave now. There is more to learn. You like to learn, don't you? That is true. That is true. Well, we did find a new person to talk to at the very least. The highest point on the island, probably. Okay. I suppose that I have to rack my small little brain together and figure out what this thing is. Maybe Arthur's written about it. We haven't discovered anything new. Yeah, we're still on a 2. We know cordyceps. We know blue. It's not time for bed yet. Yeah, I suppose I'm just gonna have to just sit here and think about it for a second. Like, I'm sure if I just shut up and think about it, it'll make some sense. Okay, I turned up my audio and sat in the glade for a bit, hoping like, oh, I was told to listen. So then I just started typing in random words, seeing if anything would happen. It's clear I don't know the code. My time would be better spent looking for a code elsewhere. Okay, so it was just straight up like, I don't need to sit here and use my brain to figure out a word or something. Because, like, to be fair, like, I was, like, trying to, like, well, I need to come up with a word that uses all the letters, but we don't even know that's true. Oh, there was a diggy spot here that I missed. Whoops. I didn't think to dig where we're sleeping. For some reason, people say, don't shit where you eat. But don't dig where you sleep is not a thing that people say. A flashlight. This tribe has no access to technology like this. Why is this here? All right, that's enough digging for today. Time for bed. We were told to get 2 things. I guess, oh, you know what? I guess even though we found 2 things, but we didn't open that one, but we didn't bring it back. So I'm not sure if this is like a branched choice we're making now. I'm not sure. Nice job finding those artifacts. Good night. Good night. Or maybe we're just not supposed to figure them out yet. It's 11, according to this. So we'll go ahead and shut our eyes. And I still want to know what time we wake up, since we know about 5 seconds is an hour or so. Based on my bad timekeeping, seemed like about 5 seconds, and that got us about 12. And we were told we're vulnerable, so we should probably open our eyes if we hear something. But I would just want to know what time we're supposed to actually wake up. And now I'm hoping I lowered my audio enough, because I raised my audio. And I listen to things very quietly. I don't like loud audio, and our vision is messing up. Arthur? What's Arthur doing up at 4 a.m.? Which we cannot click here and find out that it's 4 a.m. Journal entry 3, Arthur Wallace. Recovered heavy flashlight that doesn't work. The metal is a good conductor of heat because my hands The metal is a good conductor of heat because my hands get very cold when I... Oh, hold... I see. I misunderstood. Recycled metal box that also makes my hands cold. I'm really cold. I also feel like I'm sinking into the ground. I feel like I'm drowning under the water, or under the weight, crossed out, weight, oh, I see, under the weight, like he misspelled weight. Weight of the air. My altitude is too low. My lungs feel pressurized. Wonder where he went to. Who could say, who could know? Oh, well, he was just there. So he's just having a little giggle, running ahead. Can we come over here and... Our box is still here, yes, but we still don't know the code. Maybe there was something I could have learned from Arthur. I'm not sure. What's going on, Arthur? Higher. Someone wants uppies. Arthur's on a quest to obtain uppies. But will our friend allow Arthur to pass? Is Arthur ready? Are we ready now? I watch as Arthur clambers up the cliff, shoving his hands and knees and feet forcibly into the jagged rocks. He throws his limbs again and again until they wedge into anything, drawing blood. Arthur, warm. I don't think it'd be warm up there. I hastily tie the flashlight onto the end of the rope. This better work. An interesting use of a flashlight. Okay, here we go. Oh, and then we actually have to climb up it. Looks like there's a cave at the summit. There's no place Arthur could have gone except in here. I'm really high up. Don't look down. Oh, you're not jazz-juiced and pumped to be acro? Seems fake to me. Okay, so we have a cave. That probably takes us out of the cave. That takes us further in. There doesn't seem anything for us to inspect on the screen. I'm guessing once again we need to go deeper into the cave with, yeah, nothing to see. Nothing to see here. Just some stalactites and mites, both of them, which I do this every time because I can never remember which one's which. Stalactites are on the ceiling because it'd be tight to be up, and stalagmites might be on the floor. I don't know if that's correct, but I'm going to posit that theory. Perfect. Arthur, what the hell is going on? Such a complex fruiting book? A fruiting body. I was like, I don't know why I thought that was going to be book. What does fruiting body mean? A separate locomotion? Oh, fruiting body, I guess. Something's growing within Arthur's separate locomotion. Sporgania skin. I don't know what sporgania means. I guess it'd be like sporangia? Oh, sporangia, like mushroom. I see. I understand now. Evolutionary. Masterpiece. Wow. An evolutionary masterpiece. I don't think evolution wanted you to do that. I think evolution was actually specifically so you wouldn't do that, dude. He's getting pretty far down on it. So maybe he was right. An evolutionary masterpiece. Yeah, grows pretty quickly. See, I thought it would need like brain stuff, but it seems like maybe just blood. Blood did it. Something came out. Another person? Uh-oh. Oh, the mouse is kind of getting away from me here. Mouse is doing its own thing. We have a rogue agent, this mouse. Don't know if it doesn't want me to click on that or if it wants me to click somewhere specific on the screen. So it does seem like it's drawn over here. Yeah, there's an interaction point over there. I guess the idea is it wants me to interact with this point. So I suppose, why not? We just heard about this evolutionary masterpiece. Let's check it out, baby. And the mouse obeys us again. We didn't open the thing though. When the words acrophile came up on screen, I was like, oh, was the lockbox's word acrophile? But no, there was like an N and like a T of shit in there. What were we supposed to get out of the lockbox? Like, I mean, obviously, this is an ending to the game. I don't know if there's a different ending. I suppose there's probably something we were supposed to learn there. Um, Let's see. If I hit escape, what happens? Escape just closes the game. All right. Okay. Um, there's a references text document. Okay. So I guess before because I immediately was like, well, I missed a puzzle. I want to go back and figure out puzzle. Okay, so that's an interesting game. I was a little worried whenever they were like, "Oh, there's an uncontacted tribe," and then they started talking. They're like, when they were like, "Oh, it couldn't be colonized." I was like, "Uh-oh, what's this game going to be about?" And obviously, we play as what are Indiana Jones's? I always forget what they're called. But we're there to dig up artifacts. Like clearly, what we're doing isn't gonna be great. So like we showed up and stuff is happening here. It seems like, I guess, the idea at the end is, once you spear yourself, you're in like the proper place for the people that we've been talking to. Like I guess they like grow out of that. Which, earlier when they were like, yeah, there's thousands of us, like maybe whenever that was said, since I was already on the mushroom idea, I was thinking like, oh yeah, so they're talking about like all the spores, not just the bodies that we are seeing. So I this one's there's a lot to chew on here. Also, there's the whole portal emulator thing on top of it. What exactly all that? I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna pop open this references text. Okay, the references text is I thought this might be like references for like reading, but it's like image references and audio stuff, and that mentioning the well by Yames. So it is literally like, oh, here's things I reference. I thought this might be like, here's some more reading to help you on figuring out the lockbox. I don't even know if the lockbox is supposed to be opened. I assume it is, so I might have played myself a little. So I played through the entire game again to get to this point, obviously. And while doing so, I talked to everyone and checked everything out to see if there was anything I missed, see if there were any specific keywords that perhaps stood out to me, to see if they might relate to a code that we could type into here. That didn't help. I went to, maybe I did this, or I went to a word generator and put in all these letters to see what kind of word I could generate. And I got like one that used them all. I can't remember what it is because I'm dumb. And it obviously didn't work. So I was like, dang, it's getting a little late. I'm clearly not coming up with an answer. I should go sleep on this. And I was thinking about, like, I closed the game and then I keep thinking about it. I'm like, is there anything I could have done? And then I try like to Google it to see if like maybe there was like a hint on the itch page, or maybe someone out there said something about it, which, because I was at that point very tired and just like, oh, what is the answer? So then I'm on the itch page and I read through the comments to see if anyone mentioned it, and I didn't see anything about it. I saw some stuff that like I saw like an item name for what might be in here, I assume, unfortunately, but there was nothing about the combination to this there. And I'm thinking, I don't really want to do this, but I could ask the creator, just like throw my hands up and say, please, I'm very stupid, I can't figure it out. And then, I was like, well, I don't really want to do this, I'll think about it in the morning. So I was, closing things down. I shut the game down, like I'd said, and I see the references text file that I immediately opened up after the game finished, which, like I said, was filled with the image references to, like, a lot of these images are just kind of like edited versions, or there's some kind of like filter or something there, and like the sound effects used, like references to that. Now, the way I played myself is I have a bad habit of, whenever I'm reading something, to kind of skip ahead or just kind of blank out a little bit while I'm reading. And it's something that when I'm reading, I actively like have to think about, like, hey, focus on what you're reading. Don't do the thing you're going to do, because a lot of times I'll see a word and I'll just be like, oh, I know what word that is, and kind of move on. Like, you've probably heard me narrating something, I'll stumble over a word because I'll see something, I'm like, oh, I think it's going to be this word, and then it's not, or it's just me actively thinking, like, no, just read, don't think, read. At the bottom of the reference, there was a Morse code string, and it's very clearly Morse code with the dots and the dashes. The second I saw it, I recognized it was Morse code. The problem was I didn't see it the first time, not because I didn't scroll down to the bottom of the references. I saw some lines and I figured, oh, it's like ASCII, ooh, cute, like cute wavy lines like you do with tildes or something, and then didn't actually inspect the Morse code. So the answer was as easy as it's in the references. It's something that's pretty easy to recognize once you're looking at it. And I 100% just played myself, and then like went fully down like the how do I cheat the system? Can I ask for help? Was somebody know? I looked on Twitter searching for Acrophile. Apparently mountaineers call themselves that, which makes sense. They hot and heavy for being up. So oh boy. Yeah, so the Morse code string translates to can't resist, and inside we find a gas mask. This gas mask looks like it still works. Might come in handy. Press the M key to equip and unequip the gas mask. Alright, that's enough digging for today. Time for bed. Boop, boop. Oh, that's nice whenever you put on the mask, a little thing pops up. I'll just go ahead and put it on immediately. I don't know if it's like the kind of thing that like you put it on and like, oh no, the gas mask ran out. Or if it's the kind of thing that you just have the option to put it on and take... You can put it on or take it off to kind of opt into what ending you get, essentially. That's what I'm assuming. So I guess I'll just play through and see if anything changes. Nice job finding those artifacts. Good night. I have nothing to say about my cool mask, which I will wear to sleep. Thank you. I'm not sure if the mask will be mentioned in the book. I suppose we can check that too. But first, I'm asleep. Oh, something I was going to wait to say until the end, but we have to sleep through this anyways, is I was going to save this for kind of my overall thoughts of this. I really like this like sleeping part. I'm kind of ruining it because the way I would handle this is, well, I'm just going to lay here. I don't really need to check if something's going to get me. If something's going to get me, it's going to get me. It's about as cut and dry as that. But also, I'm speaking through this, which really cuts down on the tenseness of the situation. I do think having to sit there and hold down the S key to actually sleep is a really cool, tense idea. Even if in my particular, very, I guess, unfortunately, very binary worldview of sleeping of, I guess if I die, I die, whatever. But also just it's a cool feature. I think it's neat. Let's see. Yeah, metal box. Yeah, no mention of our mask. I also have a hard time sometimes finding the it's because I didn't check up on what Arthur is. Sometimes I have a hard time finding exactly where the boundaries are, where the actual like entrances and stuff are. But like I said, I also fully just went to sleep in between now and then. I figured this out and went, damn it, because I'd already turned it off. I'd already turned it off and everything. I was just like, it's late. I need to go to sleep. Which is unfortunate because I was really enjoying this. So like I woke up and was like, ooh, it's time to get back and find out how this story ends if we were to collect whatever was inside the box. And also I mentioned that I might have seen what was inside. I was like reading through a comment and I saw, oh, I got the mask. And it's funny. I was thinking of like what are those masks? The like kind of clown masks. I don't know why I didn't think of like a gas mask because if this is a mushroom thing. I mean, we know it is. I don't know why I was going to be like if, and I'm like, oh, and if it, because I was going to be like an asshole, but we know it's a mushroom thing. We've seen, I guess it looked a bit more like a flower when it grew out of Arthur, although it could have been like those mushrooms with the really long stems and like the little cap. I guess that could be the idea. But having a gas mask would help since it would filter out the cordyceps or whatever. I think that's the right name for that mushroom. Fully went to sleep, so my brain has been completely wiped of any useful information. We do know where Arthur is, though. What's up, buddy? Perfect. Yep. Evolutionary master. I know it's such, but I was like, suck a complex fruiting body. If that was sucks a complex fruiting body, that would have even more new meaning. separate locomotion, the sporangia skin, I remember that, evolutionary masterpiece. We could see our buddy do his thing. I can't speed it up. Unfortunately, our friend is going to die at his slow pace, and we can get a look at what grows out of him again. See the person pop out, because if I remember, the way the body pops out kind of looked like a bit physicsy. I know that's probably a stupid way to describe it, but the way it like kind of bounces, yeah, because those look more like flowers than mushrooms to me. And then it like produces fruit, which I don't think mushroom do. And then no, that was a bit more like, I kind of remembered a bit of a bounce to that. Oh, right. So that's what happened last time. Last time, whenever this being was born and it started spitting off its spores, that's when our screen went crazy. It was like, coming over here. But now that we have the gas mask, the stuff can't get to us. Also, I really like the effect of it escaping the border. Not exactly sure what that means in relation to the, I guess, whatever the emulation meta-narrative is. Not exactly sure. We were able to back away. Backing away was our only option. So I suppose we'll just leave the cave, and with Arthur dead, dead, evolved, who's to say what happened to Arthur exactly? Like, Arthur, the previous body, probably dead, probably not going to get up and exist as a person that has the mushroom or flower or whatever sticking out of him. Arthur probably exists as part of the Cordyceps collective in that new body. Let me fly you back to the shore, Hugh. You're not Arthur. Don't pretend you know how to fly a helicopter. Oh boy, Arthur was the one who knew how to fly, huh? I guess that's a good point. Arthur's knowledge is ours now. I'm going alone. You seem to find safety in your mask. But the soil, the air, the water, we are ubiquitous. We've been colonizing you from the beginning. You might hatch and crash the plane if you go alone. So let me pilot, and we'll land safely. Then I'll leave you alone. What do you say, Hugh? I run to the helicopter and throw all my weight against it. Oh, really pissed off the Cordyceps people, getting rid of their way to get off the island. Okay, so that was a fun little twist on the end, and it makes a lot of sense. Like I was saying, like, like I think I caught on pretty quickly with the mushroom stuff. I think as soon as we saw the blue stuff, they mentioned something about mushrooms. It might have been in Hugh's first journal, but the idea of like, yeah, we're mushrooms. Like we show up as colonizers. Who's to say our exact goals, what they were. Because it seemed like we were here to just like, British Museum, your artifacts are ours now. And not exactly just like straight up like, hey, we're planting a flag. Who's to say where this would go had we not turned into mushroom people? But the fact that the mushroom people didn't give a shit because they were like, we've already won, we got in you. Like perhaps it took a big burst of the cordyceps to actually get us to like transform the same way Arthur did. And I'm guessing Arthur just dosed himself harder since he was doing like the experiments with the cordyceps, trying to figure out what was up with them. And so it was a fun little twist. I was like, oh, now we're gonna get the good ending. But I like the bleakness of this one better than just like, oh, and then the mushrooms got you, because like it was like, yeah, the mushrooms are just gonna get you. So in this way, the way it being like victory is still not victory. Like we just stopped them from getting off this island for now, but we're just one or two people. We're a set of people who, like, the first set we are a set of people who showed up. Who's to say that other people don't show up with transportation that the cordyceps could escape into the outside world and colonize writ large. So damn, that was really cool. Really, the ending, like, I like this already, but this ending made it really stick for me. I already said my piece about the sleeping. I think that's a cool feature that unfortunately me talking over this kind of diminishes. I still thought it was really cool and nice and tense. Because we were in, and it was intense because we were in. So the look of the game. I like the look of the game. It took me a bit to kind of come to terms with what I was seeing. Like you know, there was like, oh, there's the rock, and it was a helicopter, or oh, there's the tent, but it was a mountain because, you know, I saw the triangle and was like, oh, a tent. It's a very distinct look. I like the way it looks. It did take me a bit to just wrap my brain around the way the backgrounds are, but it's a very distinct look. I appreciate. I like the atmosphere. Like I said, the story was pretty cool. I think I had more to say, but the ending really pleased me. I like that a lot. Through the magic of hindsight and editing, I've remembered the 3 things that I wanted to say. The first one was, I hope that I avoided saying, tell me the name of God, you fungal piece of shit. Can you feel your heart burning, etc., etc. You cannot kill me in a way that matters. Because I wanted to avoid saying that, because I started thinking about that once we were like, oh, mushroom stuff. Just because I was like, oh, that's a funny thing I remember. And I know if I say it once, I will just keep saying, tell me the name of God, you fungal piece of shit. So either I said it and I have more restraint than I give myself credit for, or I didn't say it and then I am saying it now to get it out of the way. Hooray. The other thing is, I think digging was probably the part of the game I liked the least. Actually finding the diggy spots, I think I was being a bit stupid and not using my brain, because obviously, like, I was like, oh, well, I have to move my cursor around the entire screen to find interaction spots. And I don't think that was a bad instinct, because, you know, there were things that I probably wouldn't have noticed, like the cliff that you can see from the starting screen. I probably wouldn't have found that if I hadn't just waved it around, because I'm not that smart and wouldn't think, oh, that's a point of interest. But, you know, the diggy spots are going to be on the ground. While looking for the diggy spots, I could have probably focused on just scanning the ground and not have had that much trouble. Like, I didn't have that much trouble, but it would have been easier had I used my brain and thought, oh, yeah, point shovel at ground, you'll find dig spot. The actual digging minigame, I think, is just a little too finicky. Like, you have to get, I think it's a little too specific where you need to click. I could be wrong. I think I would like if it had a bit more range to it, like if instead of like, oh, you have to click like this zone of pixels, you have to click what I was about to describe was a bigger zone of pickles. Oh Jesus, pixels. Because I was like, oh, like if the screen was split into like 6 squares, and then each square would, you know, correlate to like you just click in that area. You know, you wouldn't have to like, once I click this, and now I have to click somewhere over here to unearth it. I mean, I feel like the only time I had trouble with that during the playthrough was with the machete. Aside from that, it mostly went smooth. And once I found the thing with the machete, I didn't realize because I was stupid. So yeah, maybe the digging could have been a little better. But overall, like, I like the game a lot. So that's a just small criticism of like a game with other systems and stuff that I enjoy. The last thing I wanted to mention is the resolution for this game, or aspect ratio, I should say, is very interesting. And I don't think that's going to come through in the way that I edited this, because on that first screen, the Portal emulation, like explanation, like loading screen, the game is 16:9. But then when you shift to like the bulk of the game, it's a vertical rectangle. I don't know the exact aspect ratio because I wrote it down. I don't want to look at my notes and do math right now to figure out what it correlates to. But it's like if you took like a Nintendo DS, like original Nintendo DS, and like just stacked the screens on top of each other, essentially. I'm not saying that it is that, but it's sort of like that idea. I thought that was interesting. Unfortunately, due to how YouTube and uploading videos works, I put the entire thing into a 4:3 video. So it doesn't really come through that well, I don't think. Maybe it does. But most of the game, it was basically like, oh, I'm playing like a Nintendo DS looking game. And that just started to make me think like, oh, this could have been like a really interesting and different like DSi eShop game. Like had this, you know, come out on the DSi, because, you know, it would have been the eShop, because it is not like the bigger screen with the 3D, but that's not important. Like you do have to click both the top and the bottom screen. I'm guessing you could just move the bottom screen or the top screen to the bottom and the top and vice versa. And then just you move text with a button instead of the having the option to tap it. Just take it away because it's not that useful, or have something to swap the screen so you can choose which one you want to tap. And then maybe just whenever you don't, you can use like the D-pad or something on the. I don't know. I was just thinking about that like last night. I was like, oh, this could have been like a really like interesting indie horror game on the Nintendo DSi eShop, and that was just something I thought was interesting. That was very cool. So that was Acrophile by While Game is False. And this is the first game on their itch page. So I'll be very excited to see what this creator continues to do in the future, where we're all cordyceps, all of us. I mean, it couldn't be worse than it is now, being a mushroom person, I assume.